What's good, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Lorcana. I want to talk about the first chapter, and I think it's very important to look at the market, right? The market is starting to cool off. It's been a little bit, cards are starting to hit the market. You're not going to see them everywhere, but the prices are starting to come down. I would say a lot of the hottest cards in the first chapter set have cooled off between 30 to 50% already, and that's kind of scary, right? Of course, prices are going to come down, but then trying to see what the prices are going to do long term is the key. So a lot of people ask, is this investable? Now, I'm going to put it on two different sides, right? Because I know it's important for people to be able to play the game. Survivability of the game is important if people have cards in hand to play it, right? So you need to have cards in hand of the players in order for the game to survive and thrive long term. And it's Disney, right? It's Disney. But there's been a lot of hiccups with Ravensburger, the website, supply hitting the market, a lot of stuff being scalped and shilled and basically just selling at a high price for your local game stores, your LGSs. And now looking at it, of course, the free tendies are starting to disappear. So you notice that the prices will come down, right? And this is pretty much the same across the market for anything. The more product that hits the market, once it surpasses demand, then the price will start to drop. And people want to make money, so the prices are going to get undercut. They're going to start to hit the bottom, hit the floor, and it'll become more affordable. So right now is a very exciting time, right? People are excited to get their hands on cards, and it's definitely a lot cheaper than what it was a couple of months ago. If you look at it right now, you're looking at recent listings. I mean, it's crazy. This is a sealed booster box, first chapter, sold on December 8th, 2023, and it says $195.50, 37 bids. So still a strong amount of bids, but less than $200. And if you look right here in October, this was just, a month and a half ago, we were sitting around $300 plus for a booster box. That is crazy, right? $300 to $400 for a booster box. And that's because the 12 Enchanteds, the very rare cards inside of the set, were extremely expensive, really, really expensive. So it was worth it, right? If you get a $300 booster box and you pull one Enchanted, then you pretty much have your money back or surpassed your money, or PSA 10 would definitely make 2 to 3 times your money back. So, now you look at $195, and I mean, it's still in line with the Enchanteds, right? It's still in line with those because the prices on those have come down as well. And we're going to look at some of that and look at the market to see what it's doing. But just scrolling down, you see a lot of boxes are in the $170 range. Now, right now, Floodborn, we're not going to look at it, but we do know that Floodborn is probably a little bit higher. But I'm starting to see a lot of Floodborn hit the market as well. I went in the store today, and I've seen Floodborn packs, your decks, right, which have one booster pack. And they're just sitting on the shelf. Nobody's buying them. Now, with the first chapter, you wouldn't find anything, any product. You couldn't even find card sleeves, play mats, anything. Now, it's becoming more abundant. It's starting to just sit inside the store. And that is not a good thing, right? That is not good that it's just sitting there. And the packs, the decks are like $16. And no one's buying it. No one cares. So you also have your first chapter set right here, your Lumineers Trove. This was September timeframe. This is $117. So let's go ahead and take a look at this right here. We have Mickey Mouse Artful Rogue Enchanted. This is one of the 12 Enchanted cards from the first set. There's 2 Mickey Enchanteds, right? This is one of them. This was the cheaper one, but 2 bids for $115.50 on December 4th. These cards are definitely coming down in price. Now, moving over here, this is the hottest card in the first set. Everyone knows that it was the Elsa, right? So a few months ago, this card was probably about $700 to $800 raw if you want to buy this card in a near mint condition. And now you're looking November 14th. So I have it. It ended recently. So it's saying that the last sold listing for this card was roughly going on a month ago for $1,000 for a PSA 10 is the last sold copy, at least on this platform. November 5th being $1,147, October $1,050. This card was very volatile, but it's important to look at this card, right? Especially of any set, because we're looking at the top card inside of the set by miles. This is the top card by hundreds of dollars inside of the first chapter for Disney's Lorcana. And as we come down to October, October was the hottest time frame for the most part for Lorcana. You can see this card was $1,400. September it wasn't much. It was like a week prior. You're looking at $1,925. So at one point, this was a $2,225 card. So this was, you know, very, very, very pricey, over $2,000, and then dropped down more than 50% to $1,000. And since it hasn't sold for almost a month, right, that means demand is starting to cool off. People are focused on Floodborne, and they're trying to get their hands on anything they can get their hands on, and people are not interested in picking up $1,000 Elsa right now. So this card could well be under $1,000. It's probably closer to like $700 right now. Let's say $700-800 is probably where this card is sitting at, and we're not even looking at PSA 9s. So just bear that in mind, right? Do not FOMO. You know, I think with the winter season coming down to Christmas and stuff like that, that the prices were going to go up. But we have to bear in mind that Ravensburger has made it his full intent to print the hell out of these sets. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think it's, you know, it's a double-edged sword, right? On the left side, like I said, you know, people can play the game. Tournaments can happen. Excitement is happening inside of the home. But in order for a game to survive, and you can agree with me or not, I really don't give a damn. This is my opinion. But you need an investability factor, right? You have to have desirability, and people don't want to open boxes and product if it's not going to be worth a damn. If it's not going to be worth shit, I'm not going to open a box hoping to hit a hit card that's going to go down in value. Now, right now, you can still plead your argument and say, well, these cards are still worth way more than what the box is MSRP, but you have to bear in mind that prices are still coming down and they're still cooling off. And we're talking about, you know, long term. Even if you're talking about 2 to 3 years for this game, we have to see what it's going to do if he prints the hell out of these cards, because there's nothing preventing him from stopping the print run on Chapter 1, right? There is nothing right now to really show the differences between these cards, and he's printing more of Chapter 1. The prices will drop even more, and is going to print the living hell out of Floodborne. So bear that in mind. If they do not change the rarity of their cards, and they solely focus on gameplay and putting cards in the hands of people, the game, I do not feel like, is going to survive long term. You have to have value in the cards. People don't just like to have a damn deck and play the cards. People also like to encapsulate them and collect them and look at them. And if they're not worth anything, they're not going to stay relevant. They're just not, right? I will go from Lorcana and sell my shit off and then go right back to Pokemon. That's what I'll do. And that's just my opinion. Don't get mad at me, right? That's what I'll do. So you can do whatever you want to do. But I have about 7 of the 12 enchanteds, and I'm highly debating on what to do with them right now, because I see what the market's doing, and I see the print runs and the talk. And if nothing changes, right, it bothers me. It's very worrisome. And then when you look at the boxes, they did change it. Now you have cellophane on the boxes, so you can differentiate, you know, a first print run box from a second. But how can you differentiate the cards? So in the future, yeah, a first print run Lorcana box may hold more value, because you can tell us the first print run. But then again, what if I rip the cellophane off, right? Like, I don't know. There's just a lot of issues right now. Let's just go ahead and head over here to the last thing. We're looking at the gift set. So this is, December 9th? This was the first gift set, and it was less than $55. Now we have a bunch of bulk right here. 1,000 cards, $80, one bid. Non-foil rare cards, $41, 15 bids. Rapunzel, this was a pretty hot card, December 9th, $30. That's not bad for that card, right? As we come down the decks right here, 3 decks for $60. But as you're looking at these listings, you see a lot of them with one bid. That means that people are not really hawking and sniping these, right? They're not sniping these. Come on down. I don't really see a lot of stuff going on right now. Let me know what y'all think, man. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about the Lorcana market, what you think about it long term, and what news you think is important that you've gathered that you would like to share. I would love to hear it, and I will get back to you. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'll be back soon with another one. I'll see y'all later. Out.